What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. This one's finished in black. MSRP is $49,600. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville. Take a look at their website, links down below. They are getting in the new Tacomas ready for sale. So let's get right into the new Tacoma. Underneath the hood of the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma, you're going to find the 2.4-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This pumps out 278 horsepower with 317 pound-feet of torque paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This particular one is just rear-wheel drive. Curb weight is around 4,300 pounds. 0 to 60 can be around 6 seconds. It also runs on an 18.2-gallon fuel tank. So you're looking at 20 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway, and then towing capacity is also about 6,400 pounds. Overall length is 213 inches with a wheelbase at 131.9, width is 77.9, and height is 74.7. Ground clearance is also about 11 inches. Moving on to the styling with the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma, this particular one also has the XP package. So you're going to see a few cool items all throughout it. We have a nice set of LED headlights with a blacked out housing. There is a halogen bulb for the turn signal. And then we have a solid black grille with black material for the center mesh. You can see the Toyota badge as well. Lots of openings to provide cooling to the intercooler as well as the radiators. There's also a trim piece on the far side. You can see a cutout in that front fender, and then we get a massive air dam down below to provide better efficiency. We also get a set of LED fog lights, front parking sensors along with your forward sensors. Overall, the front end is really nice. It still looks like a Tacoma, however, it is much more modern and aggressive. I love the new hood as well. You got a fake hood scoop up here, finished in body color, and a lot of really cool contours throughout that hood. It really comes together nicely, kind of looks like a mini Tundra. At the side, you can also see one of the side parking sensors, and then a good look at the front fenders. These are really wide. They give it a much more off-road focused design as well. And then the XP package gives it these nice TRD wheels. These ones are 18 inches, finished in satin black with the TRD logo right in the center. And you can get a little bit of an idea at that front suspension, how everything is put together. You can see some sharp body lines throughout that front fender. And just like previous generations, the full 4-door cab with a short bed has a pretty good proportion. We also have these side steps down below in a nice powder-coated black. Tacoma badge is blacked out on the side. Nice sharp lines throughout the lower portion of these doors. And then body-colored door handles with body-colored mirror caps. There's an integrated turn signal on the side as well. All black trim surrounding the windows. And then there's even a sunroof up on top with your shark fin antenna. You got that XP badge, a nice roof-mounted spoiler with a third brake light, your rear glass, and this is a heated piece of glass as well. And then for the bedside, once again, nice contours throughout it. You're also going to see the coil spring rear suspension now rather than leaf springs for this particular spec. And then you can see how the rear bumper cuts into the bedside. We got a nice new set of LED taillights finished with a red housing. And then you can see all of your parking sensors throughout this rear bumper. Here's also a part of the frame where it says lift. That's a great point for a jack point when you're off-roading. We got the X Series badge, black inlays for Tacoma stamped into the bed, and then your rear view backup camera along with your grab handle. Nice contours throughout the upper portion of the tailgate, and then a gloss black exhaust tip. Trailer hitch is in the center. Very nice overall. Once again, the new Tacoma looks super sporty. Moving on to the key fob, we get lock, unlock, your Toyota badge as well as the panic, and that's about it. If I go ahead and lock the truck, you can just keep the key fob in your pocket, grabbing the door handle, it will unlock. We can take a look at the TRD Sport interior. This one does have the premium package with sunroof, JBL audio system as well, and you can see the cool blue accents. Door panel just finished off in some plastic material. You get a little bit of vinyl and padding for your armrests. A nice texture for this grab handle with hidden storage space all underneath. There's window controls, mirror controls, lock and unlock, release handle as well. You got TRD on this satin blue color, and then more storage all down below with some openings. You can see part of the JBL speaker system. We get TRD Sport on the carpeted floor mats, power controls for the driver's seat with lumbar support, and then a nice two-tone fabric. Got some nice stitching to it, nice bottom bolsters. Making our way up the backrest, you got more of that cool stitching, nice back bolstering as well. And then the darker color making its way to the headrest with contrast stitching. We also get a nice new leather wrapped steering wheel with perforations on the far left and right side. You got a large opening down here with some silver trim. And then now inside the 2024 Toyota Tacoma, keep my foot on the brake, we can tap that red start button. All of your screens are going to turn on, and you can see the digital gauge cluster right in the center. You can see the tach over on the left side with your boost gauge. We also have speed on the right with a few temperatures. You can see the speed as well as your gear right in the center as well. You can configure it a little bit using this control panel on the left side of the screen. So if I scroll left and right, you can see a few different things. You can change what you're going to see on the left and the right side. You can also see a few more items. You're also going to see controls on the right side of the steering wheel for cruise control, lane keeping, forward pacing, and then you can see the stock for windshield wipers, and then stock on the left for headlights. Down below all that, you're going to see the interior dimming, automatic high beams, traction control, tailgate dome light as well, some of the blue along with one of your air vents, and then we had the removable JBL audio speaker. If you press that button, you can pop this out and you have a nice wireless speaker, which is a cool little touch for these new Tacomas, and then it just pops back into place. Tacoma is written out on the far right side with storage underneath here. Really nice look with all that blue and then the silver trim. And then the center infotainment screen is what you're going to expect on all the modern Toyotas. This is a huge screen. Looks really good in here as well. If we hit vehicle, you can see trip information that will pop up, history as well, and then going back into vehicle alerts, things like that. We have settings on the far bottom. You can scroll up, see all sorts of basic things, everything you would expect. And then putting us into reverse, you got a really large rear view backup camera. You can toggle that for the different views, guidelines. So pretty nice to see all those different settings. Underneath the screen, you're going to see a massive volume control, 2 air vents. We have a heated steering wheel, your climate control setting on the far left, and then you can see heated seats as well. You have your fan speed, different modes you can easily toggle up and down, same with the defrost, AC, things like that. We have a wireless phone charging pad. Then you're going to see we have USB ports along with a 12 volt and then a ton of storage all down below here. You have a grab handle on the far right side, TRD on the shift knob with some nice material underneath it, your different gears along with a manual mode, park and brake, brake hold, and then our drive modes. If we toggle this left and right, it'll pop up with the normal, sport, as well as eco mode. So nice to see different drive modes for this vehicle. We also have a tow and haul mode and then auto start stop. We have cup holders down below, a little bit of an armrest, kind of rubbery feeling, and then some storage down below. Glove box on the far right side, pretty good amount of space, like you would expect. And then one last look at the interior. It's a pretty nice place to be. Definitely like the new style. Got that nice sunroof, and then you're gonna see dome lights up above that. Opening that up, we still get a cool sunglass holder, which is great to see. Garage door buttons underneath the mirror itself, and then a pretty good sized sun visor. Moving on to the rear seat space in the new Toyota Tacoma. Door panel also has the nice blue accents with a ton of storage space down below. A little bit of plastic for your armrest, grab handle, window control. You're going to see more of this two-tone fabric material back here. And then if we take a look up front, you're just going to get the 2 plugs along with that 12 volt. We do have a dome light up here as well. And then you have a power sliding rear glass. For the seats, we can just grab the base. It's going to pull upwards, and we have a lot of hidden storage space all underneath. The hybrid version will have a battery pack here. So non-hybrid, nice to see the amount of storage space you're going to get. And then if we go ahead and pull this strap, you're going to see the JBL sub on one side and then a little bit of hidden storage space. This is just lined in some carpeting material, but nonetheless, nice to see all that. All right, sitting in the back seat now with the all-new Toyota Tacoma. So I am 5'11" sitting here. I will say there's a lot of headroom. I have maybe like 3 inches above my head, so not bad. The seats are pretty straight up, and with the driver's seat at my height, my knees do have to wrap around a little bit. They are pushing up against it a little bit. So it is kind of on the smaller side back here. Not the worst though. I mean, I could definitely be back here for an hour or so. It's not that bad. And you might be able to fit a child seat in here. There are grab handles on the sides, pretty good windows all around, and the seat does feel kind of low. So your knees are a little bit higher than the actual base. So again, it's on the small side. There's no center armrest or anything, no climate control. So Not the best backseat in the world. Of course, the other trucks in this class are a little bit better back here, but nonetheless, still is roomy enough for what you need and not too bad. Moving on to the bed space, if we grab the handle, open it, you're gonna get the soft open, it says Tacoma as well. Nice plastic bed liner, you have a composite material for the actual bed itself. You can also see on this far left side, we have a little bit of storage with a 12 volt and USB port, LED dome lights all throughout it, along with 3 rails in the upper portion. On the far right side, you can also see a 3-prong, and then we have more storage underneath there. See the LED lights up there as well. And then in each of the corners, there's gonna be a metal hook. Tailgate itself doesn't really weigh all too much. One hand, you can easily close it up. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the new Tacoma. One thing, just disregard all the stuff that's going on the dash. It just needs a reset. So normal driving with the new Tacoma, I almost said Tundra. This is really nice so far. So I've already driven it a little bit. The seating position is really good. They're both power seats. It really gives you a lot of versatility with how you want to sit. You know, at 5'11", I can sink way down to where the roof is really far from my head, or I can pick the seat way up and be way too high. So I think this is really gonna be a comfortable truck for a lot of people. I know the previous gens, not everybody was the biggest fan of the seating position, but this fits me perfectly. Really good seats themselves, like the padding is nice. Steering wheel feels a little big, but honestly I kind of like it. You got really thick sides to grab onto, tilting and telescoping, so you really have a lot of different ways to adjust this truck. Visibility is pretty good. I love all these cool contours in that hood. It looks super cool. Definitely a tough feeling truck. Mirrors all do a good job when you're looking over your left and right shoulders as well. So honestly, like, this is a nice truck. It feels like a good upgrade from the old one, and it feels like a high up truck too. It doesn't feel like a little wimpy truck. This thing feels nice and new. Comfortable armrest left and right side of me. Pretty good ergonomics. One thing I would say is the storage right here is a little tight actually getting there. Like if I had my phone sitting in here, I mean, it's kind of awkward to stick your hand in there. So a little weird on that, you know, smaller items maybe. But overall, pretty good ergonomics, and the storage solutions are a good touch. I mean, there's tons of storage in this truck. It really makes it feel really nice to be in. So, big things, the new engine and the transmission. Let's go into the sport mode. We just give it a little bit of gas getting up to speed. This feels like a super smooth to drive truck already. The suspension, very nice, very forgiving. So I'm already liking the driving dynamics. So let's get up to speed now. Just giving it a little bit of gas. So sport mode rings it out just a little bit more. This thing's peppy, honestly. The hybrid's even gonna be faster, but this is peppy. It gets up to speed nicely. You don't feel the transmission. There's no gear hunting, anything weird like that. Having more gears than the previous generation, it feels like it's just handling the power better. It's smoother to drive. The steering, I mean, there's some body roll, but again, this is an off-road focused truck, so you know, you're not gonna be ripping it through turns. But the steering is very comfortable. We're on a very bumpy road, and it's absorbing bumps well. This feels like a very, very nice truck. I'm really impressed with it. You know, it still feels like a truck at the end of the day. It doesn't just feel like some crossover or anything. I know some trucks these days are losing the sense of truckness, I guess we could call it. But this feels nice. It feels like a good step up. Hitting the brakes, they also do a good job. One thing I like, I don't feel as much brake dive. One thing I don't like with the previous gen Tacoma, so much brake dive. It's not a good on-road truck. It's fine, but the competition's better. This feels like a very good on-road truck. Getting back up to some speed. Throttle response is nice. I mean, it's peppy. I mean, that's 45 with barely touching the gas and hitting the brakes hard. We are just slowly diving, not some crazy brake dive. So I'm liking the confidence this has as a on-road vehicle. I'm really liking it. It just feels smoother and a big step up. Let's do a little turnaround, check out the turning circle. It still is a smaller truck to where, just like the old Tacoma, you know, it was easy to pinpoint, easy to navigate. You know, not everybody wants a Tundra, some massive truck. So this still gives you that. It still gives you that smaller, compact footprint, and yet it's roomy, good cameras. overall, I am really impressed. This thing drives like a nice new truck. Way to go, Toyota. So turning around to my honest thoughts, perspectives with the Tacoma, I'm liking this. Now, I've always been a Tacoma fan. My brother has owned 2 Tacomas starting back in 2007 when he was just getting his license. So we have a lot of experience in the 2nd and 3rd gen Tacoma. This 4th gen is where it needs to be. You know, the truck was starting to show its age. It just felt like an older truck. The interior was dated. The comforts weren't all too there. Biggest drawbacks I'm seeing, the back seats aren't the best. There should be air vents back there. There's not that much legroom, a little on the cramp side. I know the Colorado and Canyon are better in the back seat. However, of course, you're going to get really good aspects with the Toyota, being it's always been the class leader, and I would assume this is going to be once again the class leader. But I like how big it feels, and yet it's not that big. You know, the Tundra is a great truck. It's a little big for my taste. It takes up my whole driveway. I can't fit in my garage. Not really a truck that suits my needs. Being in this, it feels like a big truck. However, you have great visibility. It's easy to pinpoint, and I overall like the seating position. It feels, I mean, I could just drive this all day long, do what you need to do. You can fit kids in the back. I mean, it's still going to be a useful 4-door vehicle. You got the bed space, a lot more towing capabilities, better off-roading. I mean, you have a lot going for it, but I really like just how comfortable it feels. I know a lot of people complained with the previous generation with the seating position. You have all the adjustments you need, driver and passenger. I mean, I literally just fit so well. And being it's that perfect size, smaller truck, again, it's not intimidating to drive. It's not gonna be hard to find a parking space that'll fit. It just feels like a good all-around truck. I mean, honestly, just incredibly comfortable, so peppy from the engine. I know there's going to be people who are still hating the fact that there's no more V6. When you look at this segment, everything's going to a 4-cylinder turbo. The Nissan Frontier has a V6, and I believe the Ridgeline still has a V6. However, when you look at the main vehicles in this class, you know, General Motors, along with really Toyota and Ford, you know, they're all 4 cylinders, and Toyota probably, once again, does it the best. This thing seems so smooth. The transmission seems really good. It seems like a very confident truck to drive on the road. Something that you're gonna hop into and just instantly get comfortable. Like, I'm already so incredibly comfortable with this. I'm really liking it. And the way everything works, you know, it's not cluttered in here. It's not too much. The screen is huge. I like the optional screen. I think it looks really nice. Of course, you gotta set it up to get all the features in it. There's not too many fancy aspects to it. However, you get the massive cameras. And if you go with, you know, TRD off-roads with more of the off-road settings, you have all the cameras in it. So it's cool to see what you have in this truck. A couple buttons for climate that are always there. You don't have to dive into the screen every time you want to change something. And then you give it some gas. I mean, you get up to speed so quickly. The V6 was slow. The transmission was good, but the rear gearing made it to where you didn't get the benefits from the 6-speed. It was gear hunting. You'd never pretty much use 6 gear in that thing. This seems so much better. And not just better from where Toyota Tacoma has come from, this is just downright good. And I would assume this is going to be just the best in its class once again. It's a nice truck. Even taking quicker turns, you know, it's very planted. Now with the coil spring suspension in back, road noise, wind noise, things like that. We're on a bumpy road right now, and it's pretty quiet and just comfortable. So I feel like they've dialed everything in for on-road use to just make this a very nice vehicle to drive. But it's still a tough truck at the end of the day. You can tow a lot, haul stuff, do all the fun stuff with it. What more do you need? Toyota Tacoma, the new one. Exciting to finally drive one. Checked out a lot of the pre-production, so nice to now drive a production one. But that is it then for the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Sweet new truck. Great job, Toyota. I'm excited to test out a bunch of other trim levels, see what they all have. But this one definitely a pretty cool option. It rides and drives the way you would want. Really no complaints. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for plenty more content. Big shout out to Flow Toyota Statesville for providing this new Tacoma for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.